All right, Rich. Okay, well, if we're waiting on some people to connect their audio and video, so we can have more of a open discussion, which is kind of how I want to make these What's Up Wednesdays. You know, select different WordPress topics, and then allow the attendees to come in and discuss openly these topics, and then put that information out there for others, hopefully to help them in the WordPress community. So a few things I guess I wanted to cover on this topic would be some of the top theme sites that you guys are using to select your WordPress themes, 5 things to look for when selecting a theme, and then 5 things to stay away from when selecting a theme. So looks like we got, who is this, Brad? We got Brad. What's up, Brad? There he is. What's going on? I can see you, but I can't hear you.
I can't hear me either.
Oh, there you are. There you are. I got you now. What's going on? All right, so we're kind of covering a topic that comes up often, and more recently in WordPress Help and Share, people are asking questions about how to select the right theme, and some of the things to look for when selecting, some of the sites to actually go to and select a theme. And just wanted to open that up and talk about maybe the top 5 things to look for, top 5 things to stay away from, and then some of the sites that you're using to buy your themes. So what's your thoughts on this?
Theme force getting old. Not too old, but
So everybody knows about Theme Forest and elegant themes, and I'm going to open that up and talk about maybe the top 5 things.
Be sure to go back over to the other tab and pause that YouTube video. Otherwise, it's going to be a loop.
So what's your thoughts on this? Yeah, I think that's Kristen there. You might want to just pause that video so we don't get the feedback.
Not too old, but
a little delay effect there. So everybody knows about Theme Forest and elegant themes, and I'm going to open that up and talk about maybe the top 5 things.
Be sure to go back over to the other
tab. We're going to mute Kristen here. Okay, sorry. Had to cut you out there, Kristen. We're just getting a little feedback from the broadcast into your mic there. Okay, we got Rich. What's up, Rich? This is the man right here. What's going on? So what's some of your favorite theme sites, Rich?
As was mentioned, Theme Forest, but I just basically, can you hear me, by the way?
Perfectly.
Yeah, so just basically do searches for the type of page I'm dealing with, like if I'm dealing with like admin style or sales page or lead page. It depends on what I'm looking for. Determines what marketplace I'm looking at. Theme Forest is huge, but a lot of places have, Inky Deals has got some good stuff. Mighty Deals, they all come up with decent packages that you can look at and get inspiration from. If it's just for HTML / migrating into WordPress yourself, or actually getting a WordPress theme. So WordPress is a very awesome platform for me, but I actually look at a lot of different techniques. Parallax, which we just talked about today. HTML5 Up is a great inspiration site. Love that site. There's a couple other ones that just come up, as you're looking for stuff. Depends what you're looking for.
Have you ever worked with page lines?
Yeah, the what?
Have you ever heard of or worked with page lines?
Yeah, I've heard of them. I haven't used them.
Okay. I've heard of them. I've kind of looked into them. I haven't used it personally, but it's very interesting, and it looks like they just completely rebuilt their system. But they are claiming that they are 100% drag and drop. It's pretty cool. I've watched some of their videos, but don't really know how scalable it is when you want to get into some wild customization. But
Exactly. And
their
you do some awesome
platform,
stuff.
yeah, their platform looks really cool. But yeah, so it sounds like, there's a lot of theme sites out there that will allow you to buy like the whole package where you can access all of their themes versus the theme forest model where you're just buying one at a time.
And that matters depending on what you're trying to do also. So like Elegant Themes, that's actually a good site from Nick, especially their new Divi 2 theme.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. The demo is incredible, actually. So if you're doing something like that, I would definitely recommend. It's an affordable thing, and it's a limited use. But you have to pay an annual subscription. Then of course you got the Woo side, as well as the Genesis type stuff and the Catalyst stuff. With their skins. So.
Sure. Yeah, some of the more the framework based themes are good, like you said, Catalyst and Genesis, where you can just kind of reskin. You operate your site on a framework, and then you can just buy skins. So what are some of the things that you look for when buying a theme?
I like to at least take a look at the demo to make sure that the home page is not going to pay me into a corner, by the way. I've seen that happen many times. So really just reviews also matter.
Sure.
And I also take a look at the ticket system on the back end and see what kind of issues they've got going on. Right now, I'm loving the Enfold theme. Actually doing the corporate website. Yeah, Theme Forest. Love their page design on the back end, and no complaints whatsoever. I am extremely fast. The new request comes in, I'm just knocking it out quickly. I love your site, by the way. So your overhaul that you just did, that's amazing. So.
Oh yeah, long overdue for sure.
No, it looks great. And also paid attention to that custom slider thing that you did with the grids with the gradients, not the gradients, the grids with the titles showing over the images. Yeah, that was really good. Well done. So I pay attention to everything.
Yeah, I would say kind of in the theme development world that Parallax is gaining a lot of popularity, and you're starting to see it more and more in some of these themes. And then just going back to Theme Force, I would be kind of safe to say that the majority of developers out there and even do-it-yourselfers probably turn to Theme Forest when they're purchasing themes. And like you said, some of the things to look for, you definitely want to read the reviews that are posted there in the theme details page and find out what some of the buyers are saying. Because the funny thing with Theme Forest is it can be kind of hit and miss as far as support, and I've seen even top-rated authors on Theme Forest that offer horrible support when it comes to their themes, or even very high-sold themes get removed from the site because of no support, or they don't update the theme as well. So it is kind of buyer beware on Theme Forest, but there is some really awesome stuff on there.
And one other thing that I just thought of while you're talking about that is that I am not a grammar big guy at all, but one thing that I can't stand is like if the theme is just totally destroyed, and the language barrier might be there, like they did some translation or something like that. So yeah, again, back on the support tickets, you can see the conversations going back and forth. But if you're looking at the theme and I'm not talking about like English versus American spelling of words. I'm talking about completely hammered English. That's an issue. So
Right.
I kind of stay away from those and don't recommend those to my client.
Right. Sure. I think Brad's got some ideas for us here. What do you got, Brad?
None of the things. I mean, I guess that those are good factors to look for. But if I'm going to go buy a theme, All I'm looking for is time. That's what
Did
I'm
you
looking
say
for. I'm looking
time?
to trade time. I'm looking to trade time for money. Are you leaving? Sorry. I'm looking to trade time for money, and that's about it. I don't care if I'm looking for the PHP, the JS. I'm not looking for, can somebody in Bangladesh code the correct theme? Absolutely. Can somebody in America, Canada, German, whatever? Absolutely. They can all code correct themes. Can they spell a sentence right? Hell no. We all know that. I mean, especially Bear Chris Brad. We all definitely know that because we've done it, we've seen it. What I'm looking for is, if you look at, we went and ate lunch with a guy from X Team. He's got a lot of stuff in that team. There's a ton of stuff in there. What I'm looking for though is that flexibility with the capacity to turn stuff off. Obviously, I like speed, and if I could make every theme out of the some random dude Frank. You ever seen that theme?
Yeah.
Okay, that's like the fastest theme. If I can make everything out of that, I would. Unfortunately, I can't. Okay, fine. So I'm looking at these themes that have Visual Composer installed. They have WooCommerce. They have all this stuff. I've got to have the ability to ditch it. I
Right.
want WooCommerce. I don't want integration with MailChimp. I don't need that. So, if you've got a big, gigantic, robust, of that buzzword, if you've got a big, robust theme and you can't get rid of or easily uncall functions or get rid of certain functions that are loading every time, every page, all the time, I can't buy that theme. What I would love to see in theme sellers, of course, there's no good way to do this, but what I'd love to see is the documentation up front. And that's one of the things that over on ThemeForest, they got Pixie, and Pixie verifies with your purchase code from Envato,
Right.
which, okay, I get that. I understand why they're doing it. However, that factors in a little bit, but the main thing that I'm looking for is this straight up solid code with the capacity to turn things off.
Right.
You know,
So it sounds like what you're saying is some of these themes out there, they're really bloated with a lot of extra bells and whistles, and it not only affects speed, but not everybody buying these themes may, like you said, may need MailChimp integration or WooCommerce, and the
right?
ability to be able to completely remove those things would be a plus in development. Or like you said, in order to see the documentation ahead of time. And there are a few where I've seen, like in the demo, they'll actually have their documentation in the demo, but it's not that often. And yeah, it is such a pain when you have to put your item purchase code in, and um, I hate that as well. But
Yeah, and then to find out on the other side that, oh, well, you know what? It takes us 5 or 6 days. We don't give that good of updates. Run over to Odesk or Freelance or Elance or try to hack it out yourself.
right,
Something like that. Again, I'm not really expecting much for $50. Does that make
right,
sense?
right. So I guess a good rule of thumb then would be to examine the demo in detail before you purchase. They do allow for pre-sale questions on ThemeForest. Like you said, sometimes it takes them days to respond.
Right.
But yeah, so examine the demo. You could even run the demo through some speed tests online to kind of see where the fat is. But you're saying that these themes on ThemeForest and actually in other marketplaces are just too bloated, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, that's fair enough.
okay. Let me give you another example. Let's say I got a real estate website. Um, and then you get into the plugins versus theme type of thing. What's that? What's that one I use? Open Door. Open Door over on ThemeForest.
Yeah.
That thing it's got everything. It's in it. Everything is in it is needed. There's nothing in it that's not needed.
Right.
Some of these guys write these real estate themes, and I'm like, front end submission integrated with PayPal. Well,
Right.
obviously that's in another part of the country where they don't have realtors, they don't have realtor.com, they don't have listings, things like that. So the
Right.
Open Door Real Estate has IDX Express in there. It's built in. You don't have to tweak the CSS. You don't have to tweak all this other stuff. It's built in. That's the #1 selling real estate theme over on ThemeForest.
Right.
That's awesome. And then you get some of these other ones that are, I think the guy wrote a great landing page for X theme, but it's freaking huge.
Yeah.
And so, you have to buy it with the understanding of, okay, I know I'm going to take 5 or 6 hours and have to go through and remove a bunch of stuff that I don't want loading every time.
Right.
That's fine. That's understood, and I know it going into buying it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you actually made me think of something right now when you were talking about that, because short codes seems to be a huge selling point to these developers. But what happens is, let's say somebody buys a theme, and they're using this theme for 3 4 years, right? And all their content is full of these short codes that their theme offers. But then they decide to do a redesign on a new theme, and then none of these short codes actually work. So now they're having to go back and either custom code the short code functions into the new theme, or adjust all of their content. So I actually like to stay away from themes that offer short codes, because if those themes ever do change in the future, it's just a lot of overhead to go back and adjust everything.
Right.
But yeah, the real estate themes that have that front end submission with PayPal, we actually do a lot of real estate sites, and I've never ever ever had anybody use something like that. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, and that's understandable. That's obviously from another culture that doesn't do real estate the same way we do, which is understandable. I think whenever you're looking at the thing, you really have to dig in there, click view source about 50 times, and
Right.
look at what are they doing? What am I getting? Crap! I need to either code or find a plugin to do this. How does that factor into my pricing structure and all that?
Right. There's actually something cool that I've seen recently, and I'm still trying to dissect it and figure out how they do it. But instead of the normal theme structure would be to have a page.php and a single.php, but I've seen theme developers actually take all of that and put it into an index.php, and the root folder of the theme only has about less than 10 PHP files, because they've condensed and they've streamlined some of the dynamic content, so those themes load faster. But yeah, I mean, I totally get what you're saying, Brad. Some of these themes, there's so much stuff in them, and to most of the people that are buying them, it's a bit overwhelming. But it'd be nice to get the documentation ahead of time. Um, what would also be nice that you see sometimes is where you can actually log into the admin area and kind of see how the theme works before you purchase it. And I know a company like Apps Themes, you can log into all of their admin areas and demo their themes and see how that stuff works before you purchase. That's really cool, because yeah, a lot of these theme companies, it's just buyer beware. And like you said, I mean, it's you're spending $30-50. You might get a jackpot or you might get a dud, but I think there's more jackpots than duds out there for sure. But kind of using some of the techniques we talked about, uh, looking at the comments, the reviews, researching the demo, maybe running the theme through some speed tests, and just using those pointers before you actually make a payment. So, okay, just wrapping up here. Are there any favorite theme sites that you always go to look for themes? We got you on mute. There you go.
Google.
Google.
I'm
Yeah,
serious. I was looking for a. What was I looking for last night? Oh, looking for an easy digital download theme. All right. So,
that's a good one. How many did you find?
well, I found a lot, but it's got to be very specific.
Yeah.
Um, you know the I don't know if you're familiar with it, but when you go to church, you sing a song. There's usually a background
Yeah.
on the monitor.
Sure.
Um, so we need to do. Um, we need to do. I need a theme that I don't have to jack with forever. You know, you can, but you don't want to.
Right.
Um, where people can simply buy the background videos.
Hmm.
Uh, it's not a product. Um, it doesn't have a height, width, length, all that weight, all that junk to it. It's an MP4 file.
Yeah.
So, you know, I go to Easy Digital Download. I go to Theme Forest. Tiffen's got a couple links up there on his site. So,
Yeah, I would say
finally,
EDD for sure.
finally I just put it in Google and I was like, thank you. I haven't quite picked one yet, but it works a lot easier.
There's a theme on ThemeForce. I think it's called um, YouTube, or it's just the letter U and then it's tube. But that probably with easy digital downloads could probably do it for you. So, Rich, are there any favorite theme sites for you? Are you pointing at my logo? We don't sell themes, but it's funny, Brad, and I don't know how much you know about it, but Rich was going to be the API guru on a project that would allow people to actually demo themes and plugins before they purchase them. So more on that to come. Rich got some bigger money coming his way, so he had to step back out of that project. But yeah, more to come on that. So it's still in the works.
I
Help
think we
Brad
can
out on a couple things.
get a subdomain, uh, easily register it. I mean, easily, allow a multi-site on there, throw up demo themes, and that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're thinking something a little bit more automated, and
Yeah.
they like licensing. The theme would work for X amount of time and then deactivate.
What was the name of that one? That theme?
I think it's YouTube. I could actually, with the letter U, I could tell you. Could tell you in a second here. It might be DTube. It's something tube. Maybe if you just search TUBE.
Oh, Daytube. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah. So that might work with easy digital downloads. So, all right, gentlemen, we're just gonna wrap up here. I wanted to thank you for participating in the first What's Up Wednesday, and it was great to have you guys here. And we'll put this stuff out there as well. So there's a lot of questions on where to buy themes, how to buy them, and what to look for. So hopefully this will help others. And thanks for having you guys here.
Hey,